Graphics, an industrial technology presentation for the Year 12 Industrial Technology class of 2021. Let's start by looking at different file formats. TIFF. TIFF stands for Tagged Image File Format. It supports 8 or 16 bits per pixel, so that means it can support 250 to 65,000 colors, and its maximum file size is 4 gigabytes. There's also an option called Big TIFF, which uses 64 bits per pixel, which makes a file up to 18 exabytes in size, which is absolutely enormous. Resolution is 150 to 300 pixels per inch, or dots per inch, and this is good for screen resolution but also industrial print standards. So TIFF is used quite regularly as an industrial print standard. Next up, there's Bitmap, Windows BMP. Bitmap supports up to 32 bits per pixel, but more commonly it's 24 bits per pixel, so it can support millions of colors. It's a very old file format, and therefore the file size cannot exceed 4 gigabytes. But you'll very rarely see a 4 gigabyte bitmap file. It's probably been compressed using some other file format. Bitmaps were developed for Windows back when Windows was Windows 1.0. It's been in use ever since. The graphic shows RGB setups. This is how bitmaps render color. But also shows CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and black. Bitmap doesn't support CMYK very much. Next up is PCX or PICT, P-I-C-T. Picture formats or picture exchange format. This is an old Mac format developed by Apple 30-something years ago for their Mac-based computers. PCX files can support 1 bit up to 8 bits for its color palette, so 2 to 256 colors. And the maximum resolution is 65,500 pixels across, which is a lot. It's a very big image file. Again, way bigger than most things we'll normally use. And it's not used very commonly now in society, or in computing, because there are better file formats out there. JPEG, the Joint Photographics Experts Group image file format, was developed to replace the GIF file format, and we'll talk about GIF in a moment. It's built on the idea that it is for rendering photos and photographic images, and it removes image data or color data and picture data that human eyes cannot detect. So the algorithms to compress JPEG are very clever at working out what we can't see and removing that, which is good because it can reduce a file size by 90% compared to a BMP. It is, however, a lossy compression. Lossy meaning loses the original file, so the original file cannot be recreated. It does support millions of colors. It does not support transparency or animation. And JPEG is probably the most common image file format used on the internet today and has been for a number of years. Compare that to GIF file formats. GIF is a graphic interchange format. It was developed by CompuServe, an internet company from the 1980s. In the 1980s, monitors only supported 256 colors, so therefore GIF only supported 256 colors. That is its limitation, but it also supports transparency and animation, hence it's used a lot for memes and for quick animations on websites. Now go back to JPEG, and one of the things that JPEG did was try and replace or update the GIF file format with something better. And in fact, JPEG was replaced by PNG. PNG files are a development of JPEG. Supports 24 and up to 32-bit color, so millions to 4 billion different colors. And it does support transparency, so it can support an alpha channel. The compressor is lossless, so you can recreate the original image. And it was developed by the Portable Networks Group, PING, to update and replace the JPEG file format, although that hasn't been done. We still use JPEG quite a bit.
A vector image, not to be confused with a raster image, is a graphic which is created using mathematical formulas through a digital device. Simply put, a vector file does not use pixels to make images, which allow vector images to be zoomed in without losing its quality. Vector images is commonly created using Adobe Illustrator. However, it is not limited to just the Adobe suite. There are various online and downloadable applications which can create vector graphics, making it a widely available tool to make and use. Advantages and applications of vectors. Due to the various tools vector images can be created with, they can be manipulated heavily to produce a more quality image. In addition, there is no loss of quality when a vector is zoomed in, meaning it has almost infinite resolution. Vectors are also commonly used for logos for their sleek design and quick to create availability. They also come with their own set of disadvantages. As vectors are created using mathematical formulas in a grid, they can only be created digitally by an artist or in a software such as applications such as Adobe Suite. Another being the lack of complexity of vector images is capable of, where a more complex graphic or art will require more color-friendly formats such as bitmaps. The compatibility of a vector should also be considered, where generally, the more complex or advanced the vector is, the better software device must be used to edit it. It may also become problematic when a vector is incompatible with a particular formatting when being imported into projects. Bitmaps. A bitmap, also known as a raster image, is a graphic which uses pixels in a grid as its format. As a result of this, bitmap images can use different colors in each individual pixel, resulting in more realistic graphics. Bitmap images can be created on any software capable of using its format. However, it can be commonly made using Adobe Photoshop. The application of bitmaps can vary in terms of what it is made and used for. However, it's due to its specific advantages is why it is used. Example of such advantage is its ability to express colors within an individual pixel, which can allow artworks to look more refined and aesthetically better down to the finest pixel. In addition, bitmaps can be found everywhere, from a photo taken on a phone to a graphic created digitally. Bitmaps are generally the wide-use format which can be compatible with any device and any software. Bitmaps are also capable of keeping up with its original quality after being saved and edited over again, where generally the vector images will tend to lose their quality after being exported. However, bitmaps also come with their own set of disadvantages. Due to their pixel format, they will begin to pixelate as each individual pixel becomes more noticeable the further you zoom into a bitmap graphic. To add to this, bitmaps can display millions of colors into one image and as a result have larger file sizes when exported compared to other image medias. What is resolution? Resolution in digital terminology is the amount of pixels which can be displayed within a particular dimension, where generally the bigger the dimension is, the more pixels which can be displayed, giving a video or image its particular quality. However, this is not the full extent of resolution. In actuality, it has to do with the bit profiling of the media, using terms such as 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, where progressively the next will be better than the last. To understand bits, it is important to recognize the role of binary coding, which computers use for numbers and colors. Binary coding utilizes ones and zeros as a form of communicating specific characteristics such as color, since in actuality a computer does not know what color actually is. Now, moving on to bits. Bits are possible combinations of ones and zeros for characteristics such as color depth, which is always an exponent of 2. For example, 8-bit will refer to 2 by the power of 8, which will equal 256. Meaning there is a total of 256 combinations of ones and zeros to produce a color. The higher the bit goes, from 8-bit to 16-bit to 32-bit, the bigger the combinations of ones and zeros will get. The more complex shades of colors will be used to affect the quality of the media, and finally, the resolution.
Object layering. In graphics, layers. Object layering. In graphics software, layers are Object layering. In graphics software, layers are the different levels at which one can place an object or image file. In the program, layers can be stacked, merged, or defined when creating a digital image. There are two types of layering: text and image. Text layering allows notification writers to present information in more than one way within the same publication. Each layer adds to the overall concept. Image layering is when layers are used in a digital image editing to a separate different element of an image. A layer can be compared to a transparency on which imaging effects or image are applied and placed over or under an image. Image enhancement basically change the enhance an image but doesn't manipulate or the image or transform. Image enhancements basically change and enhance the image but doesn't manipulate the image or transform it from its original state. Enhancement to an image can be simply brightening and darkening. Filtering is one of the techniques used for an image enhancement to filter out noise to emphasize the low, high, or directional spectacle frequency component. Special effects are used or visual tricks Image enhancements basically change and enhance the image but doesn't manipulate or Image enhancements basically change and enhance the image but doesn't manipulate the image or transform it from its original state. Enhancements to an image can be simply brightening and darkening. Filtering is one of the techniques used for image enhancement to filter out noise, to emphasize the low, high, or directional spectacle frequency component. Special effects are illusions or visual tricks used in the theater, film, television, video games, and simulator industries to simulate the imagined event in a story or virtual world. In digital signal processing, spectacle anti-aliasing is a technique for minimizing the distortion artifact known as aliasing when representing the higher resolution image at lower resolution. Photograph manipulation involves the transformation or alternate of a photo using various methods and techniques to achieve desired results. Some photograph manipulation are considered to be skillful artworks, while others are considered to be unethical practices, especially when used to deceive the public. There are 4 types of image manipulation: stretch, skew, rotate, and color adjustment. Contrast stretching is a simple image enhancement technique that attempts to improve the contrast in an image by stretching the range of intensity values it contains in a span a desired range of values. For example, the full range of pixel values that the image type concerned allows. The process of straightening an image that has been scanned or photographed crookedly, that is an image that is slanting too far in one direction, or one that is misaligned. This process is done in the post-production stage using graphics software. Image rotation is a common image processing routine with applications in the matching, alignment, and other image-based algorithms. An image rotated by 45 degrees, the output is the same size as the image input, and the out of the edge values are dropped. In graphics, color adjustment can be used to change the overall tone of your image and have also unwanted color and also to remove unwanted color from your image. This function allows you to control the amount of red, green, and blue in an image.
Clipart is a collection of pre-made graphical images that is able to illustrate anything to emotions, goals, objects, and rules. This is because of the nature of drawings, as most people can understand faces or drawings, as it doesn't require the person to understand a different language. For example, stoplights uses green, red, and orange to showcase where the car should go or stop. Clipart is also able to be imported and exported, allowing for almost limitless possibilities when it comes to your media. As most cliparts today is sold in a limited royalty-free license, though still allowing you to use it for personal, educational, and non-profitable applications, though some people might still want to pay for commercial rights. Screen capture, or more commonly known as screenshots, is a device's ability to take a photo of whatever is displayed on your screen. For example, on your phone, you are able to take a screenshot of whatever is displayed on your phone's screen, and you can use it for your own personal use. Though within the multimedia industry, screenshots play a bigger part, as they can be used for tools for creators and within their logbooks, allowing them to have a visual medium in which they can showcase their sources and research of where they found their tools or understanding to improve their project. Though, screenshots are covered by copyright law, so you should ask permission of the copyright holder or at least credit them and not claim that you own that screenshot. A scanner is a device that allows users to transfer documents, text, drawings, photographs, and many more into a digital format, allowing them to have a digital version of anything they scanned, in a stunning resolution because of the scanner's flatbed in which objects are scanned on. Scanners are very helpful in multiple different industries because of its ability to capture physical objects and turning them into digital ones. Scanners work by using the light shining and reflecting off the mirror, which is located on the top and bottom of the flatbeds, allowing for a photosensitive element like a CCD or a charged coupled device, which allows the scanner to collect this data and transform it into a digital version of the physical item you scanned. Examples of scanners that can be found in the multimedia industry, which can be, scanning storyboards and putting them into your portfolio, showcasing the process, their project, allowing them to have a view of what they had in mind for their project. Another use of scanners can be within the medical field, in which clients would be scanned for the problems within their body, such as x-rays or ultrasound. Graphics tablets allows their users to draw things on their tablet, which will be displayed on a computer through the stylus coming into contact with the tablet. By connecting the tablet to the computer, the stylus will replace the mouse in controls, so whatever you draw on the tablet, using the stylus, the mouse would follow its movements. It is similar to drawing on a paper with a pencil. So whatever you draw, you can see in real time. But whatever you draw on the paper, it would be displayed on a computer instead of the paper. Graphics tablets do get mixed up with drawing tablets, as they both share the same feature of drawing in a digital format. But the way they achieve this goal is slightly different, as a drawing tablet has a screen on its tablet allowing to see what you're drawing onto. But a graphics tablet doesn't have a screen, rather it displays whatever you draw on a monitor. Though in general, both of these devices allow the user to draw in a digital format. And one of these things that you can draw, what you can do is draw storyboards, which saves time from scanning them and using traditional ways, which will, take time. A camera allows the users to capture a moment of time within a photo through some of the same means like scanners, but with more control, as cameras are able to control how much and how long a camera receives light to create amazing photos. Many cameras today use an AI-based system if you don't want to use manual, as the AI is capable of adapting in multiple situations, allowing you to work faster. Now, cameras work by using three elements: shutter speed, aperture, and ISO to create wonderful photos. Shutter speed is how long your sensor is exposed to light, and the byproduct of that is having motion blur. Aperture is how much light is getting exposed to your sensor, and the byproduct of that is having a blurred background. And the ISO is basically increases the light. Well, it increases the sensitivity the sensor has to light. But the byproduct of that is that it will have a grainy look, which is a bad quality. Still photos showcase photos that are stationary and doesn't move, such as fruits, landscapes, and nature. This form of photography is most often used in food commercials, landscape shots, stock photos, and more. Still photos showcase the stillness and just the still nature of the subject, which can express peace and calmness, which is why still photos are commonly used in those forms. Photos with motion that showcase motion is done to express the emotion in the situation by taking advantage of the shutter speed by slowing it down to create this photo with motion. Videos allows users to capture moving pictures through capturing thousands of photos and overlaying them to create motion. Video is used to capture the entire moment instead of a photo which captures a singular moment, while also being able to view it again through recording. Videos as a medium is used within the multimedia industry, with films and videos showcasing emotions, goals, and lessons, as videos are capable of doing much more than photos, as it is able to utilize music, sound effects, dialogue, and special effects to enhance the audience viewing experience instead of photos, which they are capable of doing that, but not as effective as video. Image libraries is where images are stored in an organized way through different categories, therefore keeping your library organized when you look for an image, so it is easy to find. Image libraries are also used for stock images marketing, as there are multiple different companies looking for quality stock photos or stock photos that fit the situation. Stock photos are photos that showcase emotions and feelings to the actions within the photo. Stock photos are used to convey these feelings within the audience without using words, as human expression is easier to pick up on. Stock photos are also used by companies to showcase how good their product is or how great their company is. Stock photos are also covered by copyright, which means that you have to pay for the licensing on photos and or commercial rights to use it. But this can be different from multiple different stock photos, as some are owned by different companies. Though public domain images is not covered by copyright, which means you can use it to your heart's desire.